So
Al,
yeah,
I've
I
never.
was almost an hour with Igor, just
mm,
making contacts on all the frequencies. It was fun, but it was quick. Bang. Okay, go to 2 meters. Bang.
Al,
Go to 6 meters. Yes, go ahead, Bob.
I've never had a second call. I've never had a reissue of my license with the additional call put on it at any time.
Well, what you do is call the radio service center, talk to Amy up there, and say, "I'd like to get all my calls on my certificate." She will print you off one and send it in the mail. She is a wonderful lady and very obliging. And yeah, you'll get a new certificate. That's why I've got extras sitting here. I've got mine up on the wall, but I've got ones here, which helps when I show people when we do online testing. So yes, just give them a call and say it's V3LLE. Would you please spit out every call sign that's issued under Bob Elston? And she will do that, and you'll have that all listed. If you've had additional rankings, like let's say you were a basic and now you've got your advanced, that'll also come on your certificate too. So it's always good to get them updated and that with it.
Bob, I can send email to you, uh, Amy, like Amy's email from the IC, and you can contact her uh, like very quickly. So all questions she's resolving very fast, and in the past uh, she was very friendly and very helpful. All questions resolving immediately. So I'm pretty sure if you will contact Amy by email, it will be very fast resolution.
Thank you very much, Igor. But I cannot send any email at all due to my lack of eyesight
Mm,
now. Thank you.
yes.
But I'll send you the phone number. Just call her, and
Thank, thanks, Al.
yeah.
I can read that with a big glass. I have a question for Igor.
Yep.
Uh, I know what streamers are, but I've never heard of the comment Sparks.
Human skimmer.
Yes.
Skimmer. This is device which give possibility to catch call sign from the flow of the DX clusters. Like at the present time, we have possibility to use skimmer for the CW, for the RTTY, for the digital modes. In this case, like device like Flex receiver or another SDR giving flow of the data and skimmer catching call sign from there and put into this screen of the computer.
Okay.
Skimmer for the SSB still in the process. I know a couple guys like Lima Zulu 1 Victor has been using prototype of this SSB skimmer, but this is very rare device for the phone. This is under research right now.
Okay.
However, for the CW, for the RTTY and digital mode, skimmers works fine. It's possible to create oven skimmer like we have in Ontario, a very good guy, Victor Echo 3, Nancy Echo Alpha. His name is Alex. He's programmer and he has created a couple programs. And from him, I have got software to create skimmer for the CW and RTTY, but honestly, I did not have time to create it. So, like with help of this software, possible to create oven skimmer, and in this case, it will be like DX cluster, but DX cluster for your oven. This is like possibility to see another call signs on the screen.
Okay. Thank you for that. I did hear you comment about um, sparks, the word sparks, or perhaps I heard incorrectly, due to solar flares or streamers. You use the expression sparks. Was that misunderstanding on my part? I have
Uh,
never heard that comment about
I
For
see.
containing
CMEs coming from the sun, you mean?
uh, possibly
Coronal mass ejections?
could be, but
Probably.
Sporadic-y?
It could be, but I just heard him, Igor,
Okay.
use the expression
Uh-huh.
in regards to signals, and it was in case we hear other sparks, and that really intrigued my imagination.
I
Can
see.
we go back to the video, Lou?
Okay.
That was a joke.
This is
We're not in
software.
court, Frank.
I see. Okay.
Please replay the evidence. Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
I see. Okay, take a look. This is software like dxmaps.com. As we spoke a couple times for it, this is possibility to see what is the MUF, like maximum usable frequency for the QSO. Right now, this is current situation. Like figures, this is MUF for the current location. Like for the US right now in the EM grid square, this is possible to operate on the 10 meters. Unfortunately, no, on the Manitoulin right now, nothing. So this is depends of the ionospheric like layers and possible spark on the sun. Unfortunately, I don't have software which will be indicate solar sparks, but this is a little bit related to the astronomy. So this is unfortunately I don't have this software.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if not any questions, I would return back microphone to Al.
Okay, anything further for Igor? This has been wonderful this morning to get a little further update, little more education on working the contest. And yeah, if we can get a lot of you that are local and even maybe distance, if you've got a beam, are you planning to run the 2 meter thing horizontal on sideband or vertical? Like, what's your intentions there, Igor?
When I'll operate from, I hope, from the top of the mountain, I will use like horizontal Yagi, but I know you have vertical Yagi.
Yeah.
I think it will be possible to use as well, like for the FM. So this is great antenna, and last RAC Canada Day has demonstrated how efficient this antenna. We did more than 200 QSO during RAC Canada Day on the VHF. This is very good result.
Yeah. Yeah, because not a lot of us up here have horizontal beams, right? But
Yeah.
But up there, you never know. You know, down to southern Ontario or over to Michigan or something to that nature, you may hear some stations for sure. And that, and if God forbid, there's any propagation or
Yep.
bit of inversion, it's usually not in December, but you never know. You never
Yep.
know. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Any other question? I wanted to say good morning to a few others that have popped in. We had a few come in and leave us, but I see you're aboard, Marine. We've got Nick from Sudbury. Welcome aboard, Nick, and a few others that have popped in and popped out. So nice to have everybody aboard this morning for us. So. All right, excellent. And that with it, what I'm going to do now is kind of open it up for questions of any sort or any topic that you may want to. I thought rather than me do another presentation, I'll leave that for following week. I know a few of you mentioned things during the week on the round table and other questions, and it can be pertaining to anything. We've got a wealth of information on board, so it could be about antennas, it can be about rigs, reviews of rigs, different potentials of operating things, or whatever you may have out there. Has anybody got any questions or?
I got a
Actually, I have a
question.
question for Igor.
Yeah, go ahead,
Igor.
Frank.
When are you planning to go to Manitoulin
Yeah, sure.
to set up? Are you going to go up that Saturday or Friday or?
I'm planning to come on Friday around noon. This is, I suspect it may be sufficient if it will be not too difficult to install Yagi on 2 meters. It's maybe less than an hour, but we don't know what is the will be weather condition. So in this case, I would be to reserve extra couple hours to accommodate radio on the top. I hope it will be not too difficult snow condition. So after that, contest will start at 7, operate from 7 to 9, maybe to 10, and come back to our home and come back to the mountain on the Saturday morning. So this is the plan. This is no reason to stay on the top of the mountain whole night. So this is
And will you operate your call sign from Al's place afterwards?
I will see how it's possible, but so it may be, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Go ahead, Bill. You're next, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, I had a quick question. I have got two 13B2s, and I was thinking of putting them both vertical, but I'd like to know if it'd be possible to put one horizontal and one vertical. Would I still have to use the same spacing?
So for the which band?
For our 2 meters, the 13B2s.
Okay. So I know that for the SSBCW, this is better to use like horizontal, and for the FM vertical, this is depends of your preferences. If you prefer to operate like mostly FM, so in this case, I would be installed to the vertical position. For the SSB, this is horizontal. Difficult to say. I would be come back to this question after RAC Winter Contest, because on the top I will have Yagi with horizontal, and also I suspect that I will be able to operate on the vertical Yagi from Al's location. In this case, I will see difference, and after that, I'll tell you more information.
Yeah. What I was thinking was one mast and have the vertical on the top, because you really do need to have a fiberglass mast there if you're using one of those 13B2 vertically, because the pattern is distorted. How far down do I have to put the horizontal one then? It's not affected by the mast.
1.5 meters, Bill.
Yeah, 1.5? Okay.
1.5 meters. That was, I read it in a British magazine, the Radio Society of Great Britain, and they recommend 1.5 meters.
Okay, rather than put a boom, horizontal boom on there and have the two of them, the wind loading is pretty bad that way. I could put it on the, as I was saying, the horizontal one down below the vertical one. Then I can have this, put a piece of fiberglass rod or pipe or something in there to keep the pattern correct for vertical. Over.
Yeah, they said 1.5 meters, and you shouldn't affect the pattern of either antenna, Bill.
Okay, thanks for that, Pat. Okay, that was my question. Thanks.
Okay.
I do have an antenna question also. I'm in the process of purchasing a couple of different antennas for my mobile for the truck. And two of the antennas I'm looking at right now is a 55-inch Comet, and the gain on the Comet on the 2 meter is 4.5 dB, and the 70 centimeters is 7.2, and it's 55 inches. And the other antenna I'm looking at is a 27-inch antenna, and the gain on the 2 meters is 2.15, and the gain on the 70 is a 4.15. Now, what I'm asking, the question is, if I use the 55-inch Comet and I mount it on the box on the back of the cab, what would be the difference between the two antennas? if that one was mounted on the box behind the cab and the other 27 inches was mounted on the lip of the door. With the 55 inch, because it's mounted behind the cab on the lip of the box, would it be just as efficient or more efficient than the 27 inch antenna mounted on the lip of the door?
If it's not mounted in the roof of the vehicle, you lose 2.5 decibels.
The ideal location is the center of your roof for the antenna.
I know, but I don't want to put a hole in the center of the roof. I
Mag
want to
mount,
either mount it
mag
on
mount.
the lip of the door, use a 27 inch on the lip of the door, or mount the let's say the 55 inch on the box behind the cab.
One antenna will definitely affect the radiation efficiency of both of them.
No, it's going to be either or, one antenna, not both of them at the same time.
Can I ask why you wouldn't buy a magnetic antenna?
Yeah, mag mount.
A mag mount.
Mag mount.
Yeah.
Go off.
Well,
Everybody-
the thing is I parked the truck in the garage, and when I come into the garage, like the 27 inch has I can fold the antenna back to go into the garage, and then when I come out, I just fold it back up. The mag mount, I don't think I can do that.
Transport truck will blow it off anyway.
Right.
Not if you get the 3 mag mount base.
Oh, I don't want to go that way. No.
No,
I
but
wanna-
most of us are running mag mounts with a 4 or 5 inch magnet, and
Yeah.
I've never had any trouble going down the highway with it.
No.
And
Yep.
you can always step out and lower your antenna before you put it in the garage. Just tip it over.
I got a suggestion for you.
Yes.
I have one of those SG 7900s. What are they, 5 feet? It's on the roof of the van. That's the summer antenna. The winter antenna is a 19-inch whip, which sits with a nice flexible rod, and it sits on the back corner of the van. And when I back in there, it just bends over, and there's not a problem because I'll forget sooner or later and back into there with that big one.
As
on.
will we all.
I just want something that I can use, let's say from Manitoulin Island to let's say Garson or Sault Ste. Marie.
Well, that one antenna, that 19-inch whip will work on both bands, better on UHF than on VHF, but it's works perfectly well on that, and it'll match quite nicely. You can find a good match on both bands.
Yeah. So I think from what I'm hearing here, I'm going to go with that 27-inch, and then mount it on the lip of the door, and use that folding. There's a mount so that I can fold it when I go into the garage, and it'll be a summer-winter antenna.
Where you mount it will determine your best line of radiation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roof is best.
Yes. The longer the pad, it will always radiate in the greater distance in the longest radiation effect. If you put it on any corner of your car, it will radiate best off the other end, or truck, or whatever you put it on.
Yeah. Okay.
The middle of anything is always the best pattern.
No matter how small it is.
Well, you can get away with them, but they don't work as well.
Yeah. We used to use, for the locomotives at Inco, they used to put a mag mount antenna on those, but when they were shunting the cars, they'd fall over all the time. So we put two low slope 90 pipes welded to the side of the cab, and a 6-inch plate steel, and it was a UHF frequency. So that worked perfectly. And that was the best situation ever. And they paint those locomotives, and all they do is masking tape everything. And I'd have to go over and take the paint off the rods every once in a while. They'd forget to do that.
The length of the train would make one hell of a radiation.
Yeah, and they got rid of all those electric locomotives, and I salvaged all the mag mounts and the antennas. And I was running up and down, changing the other ones all the time. So it worked out well. And that's all you need is just the 6-inch on the UHF and 19-inch on the VHF. But luckily, it's a third harmonic. It works on the UHF even better than on VHF.
Yeah, well, I have like McLean's Mountain. I mean, I have I have trouble getting over top the mountain, get the signal over the top of the mountain. That's why I'm asking like for a mobile antenna.
Yeah,
I
well,
know
that 19-inch whip has got a very high angle of radiation. That's better than, like, if you have a 3 dB or a multiple collinear antenna, it'll be a very low angle of radiation. So if you're too close to the mountain, you won't get over. You will with the 19-inch whip.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And what's that antenna called?
That's just a regular quarter wave whip for you at VHF.
Oh, I got one.
It just happens to be 19 inches long, pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
I think I got
just keep cutting it until it's resonant for what you want.
Okay. For 19 inches, that would be resonant for what? Not 70 meters, 70 centimeter.
2 meter
or
band.
2 meter band.
meters.
Yeah.
Quarter wave.
Okay.
That's
Quarter
it,
wave.
Quarter wave.
Yeah,
Cut it
just
for
look for quarter
146.
wave antennas. Comet, Diamond make them. If you go to that flea market, just look for a quarter wave antenna.
They make a nice one. It's got a little, looks like a cellular antenna with a little coil in the middle. You don't really need that, but it looks better. Same thing.
Matter of fact, here's one that I had Jim Hastings put together for me. And it's portable. He used one of those suction cup things, but this is the length. It's 19 inches long. It's got a little coil.
That's
so
the
it's
one.
actually, yeah, it's and it's 19 inches long, and yeah, works great. This is for if you go to emergency setup, and he's got the cable with it, and yeah, it works.
I've got the diamond version that they have, but it's too stiff. When it hits the door, it makes a mark. So
What about
the real flexible one won't hurt anything. It just bends over.
Is the Comet more flexible, or which one are you using, Bill?
I'm just using just a piece of stainless steel rod, 19 inches long, because it bends so easily. It doesn't mar the garage door, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's a little bit flexible, as you see this with
that
it.
one I think will scratch the door, but
yeah, it's a little harder with it, and of course it's got no spring or anything. You can get ones with.
You could put a spring in there and it would bend easier, but you don't have to if you just use the stainless steel whip. Motorola has all kinds of those whips.
Well, isn't that a shortened 5/8 wave antenna with a coil in the middle? It's not really.
No, it's actually tuned for 440 too.
Well, it might be tuned for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. That's it's a dual band. It does, but no, it was primarily 2 meters, and I mean it tunes up.
So Al, how well does that antenna perform on Manitoulin Island? Like, does it get you out? Does it get you out to Sudbury?
Bill is quite correct. I mean, what they used to do originally was, especially for commercial, I remember some of the cruisers, we used to put quarter wave whips because of some of the hill terrain and that with it. And then, of course, they went to the 5/8 whip, which basically works much better than the quarter wave. But there are certain locations where a quarter wave will actually outperform because you're behind as Bill was mentioning, behind a mountain or something to that nature, and that with it. If you're talking stationary, trying to get into the repeaters, then definitely try a quarter wave where you are over what you've got in the 5/8. But overall, you're better off with the longer antennas in that regard. And the unfortunate thing is, it's just your location. You've got those two ridges. You've got the Chaging range, and then you've got Cup and Saucer, and you've got McLean's or up along the escarpment. So it's just location, location, location. If you had a repeater in Mindemoya or a repeater to the south of you in Michigan, you'd get 100% that way, where I would have a hard time because I've got to get over those bluffs to get to a location that way. So that's why the CBC RMI works better than RQQ or RXR. And it's surprising because Maclean's Mountain and where the CBC signal is, CBC did their research and they went to the highest location on Manitoulin. And they're over all the other ridges, okay, because they want everybody to hear the CBC signal. So that's why they went on the Greenbush, way up on that far bluff. But it covers southern Manitoulin better than you are at Maclean's Mountain. So, and that's why the government agencies, what they do, they have these trunking systems, right? So there's a tower at Killarney, there's a tower at McCarrow, there's a tower at Elliott Lake, there's a tower at Silverwater, there's a tower at Walford, and what they do is they scan. So when you're driving the cruiser, it scans all those towers, and wherever it locks into the strongest tower, that's where you make your communication. As you drive away from that particular tower, the radio starts scanning and now locks into that tower. And Little Current was kind of unusual because I could drive in the cruiser to different locations in town where Killarney would come in full quieting, and then I drive to the southern part of Little Current, and Chaging would come in full quieting, right? So, and then I'd go north on La Cloche Island, and McCarrow would come in from Espanola. So it flipped all over the place. So
I do have another question again. The Comet GP6 dual band, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, would that be one of my preferred antenna, let's say for a base?
Well, definitely Comet, Diamond, they make great vertical antennas. I know there's others that have got them. I swear by my GP9 on the top. As a matter of fact, Dennis from Garson's on here. He just put up a 3-element Yagi up on his tower, but he's got a Comet on top, and sometimes the Comet vertical outperforms the 3-element Yagi. So it's kind of it all hinges. Yeah. Well, I'll guarantee you've got the dual band J pole that Jeff put together, and he did an excellent job. And those J poles are great antennas, but there's no gain to them.
I can't get the QQ.
Yeah, you replace that with a GP6 or a GP9, and oh my God, you're going to say, what the hell? What's the, it's like you having an antenna connected or not.
What are you doing? Yeah, go look for a good deal on the GP9, Claude. You won't regret it.
Yeah. I know right now I can get a GP6 for about $150 here at the there's going to be a Hamfest next Friday, so that's why I'm going to make I won't be able to be on Zoom, but I'm going to be shopping for antennas for sure.
Yeah. So, well, I'll just give you a bit, definitely you've got to take into account your height. All right. So if you don't want an 18-foot antenna and want a 10-foot, then the GP6. But if you can get away with the 18-foot, okay, it's going to be 10 times better than the 10-foot.
Okay. I'm
on
going to look
both
at that.
bands, both on 2 meters and on UHF.
Okay.
For
Thank
sure.
you, guys.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Like I said,
well, I have to get going, but I want to thank Igor. Very good presentation, and your little chart there with the multipliers. Very great stuff. It really came in handy for the Canada Day, and I'm going to look forward to using that same sheet for winter contest. So thank you again, Igor, for your time and patience with us newbies here. And I definitely am learning lots. So good day to everyone. Enjoy the weekend.
Okay, thanks a million, Frank. Take care, and thanks for coming aboard.
Oh, and Claude, Dr. Dave had a neat thing on his car. I remember seeing one time. He had an electrical relay on there.
What's that?
He
Go
had,
ahead, Bill.
he had a little tilt over mechanism. He could push a button in the van and tilt his antenna over. So you might look when you're at the flea market, see if you can find one.
Diamond makes it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There
Really?
you go.
Diamond, eh? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
guys, I'm gonna scram too.
okay. Thanks, Lou.
Have
Thanks
a
for
wonderful
recording this
weekend and
morning.
stay warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care. Take
I'm
care.
off too.
Lou.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Yeah, I gotta get going
Bye-bye.
too, guys. So we'll say good morning and hope everybody